Talking about characteristics of a good research hypothesis. First of all, keep it simple, short and sweet. This is my go-to funda while making all my videos. Simple, short and sweet. Keep it extremely simple. One exposure, one outcome. That's about it. Yeah, that's good to go. First characteristic, one exposure, one outcome. That's about it. Number two, be extremely specific. There should be no ambiguity about study participants or variables. And number three, don't do it at the last, do it at the starting. Many of my students doing MD in pharmacology, what they do, they try to avoid this, but don't do this. I've been teaching for the last 12 years of my life. What I've learned from my experience of 12 years of teaching is always state them in advance, written at the outset. And they should always focus on the primary objective. There are already always two types of objectives, primary and secondary objectives. All of you are doing research, you all know this. So always focus on the primary objective. Then talking about a priori analysis. Yeah, I know no one of you must have bothered to check out what a priori is and give me a reply in the comment section. So I thought, why don't I only tell you? It relates to or it denotes reasoning or knowledge which proceeds from theoretical deduction. Which proceeds from theoretical deduction rather than from observation or experience. Theoretical deduction rather than from observation or experience. Now certain extremely important points which you need to memorize for your own good in the exam, which is asked also. Number one, purely descriptive questions. Purely descriptive questions do not require hypothesis. No hypothesis is required. Hypothesis is required only for analytical questions with comparison groups, correlational if you are trying to find a correlation between two variables, or in the case of a randomized control trial, RCT, that is an experimental research. For research questions with terms, we can use greater than, less than, causes, leads to, compared with, more likely than, associated with, related to, similar to, or correlated with. These are all the terms we can use, correlated with, when formulating a good research question. Now, I need to tell you about study objectives. You got a research question. Now you must focus how you can make a beautiful and a mind-blowing objective. Just blow it out. Like we say that video blows up on YouTube. How does it blow up? Meaning it goes viral, extremely viral. So here there are good and bad examples. Before that, I want to explain to you descriptive. Descriptive. Descriptive is used when we are estimating a quantity. I told you, we use the verb estimate. Like estimate the prevalence of physical activity. Whenever you use estimate, we use descriptive. Fine, descriptive, DES. Here you have ES. Estimate prevalence of physical activity. Then after that, this is descriptive. Moving on to analytical. Analytical objectives, this is done to test a hypothesis. Analytical, test hypothesis. Here we use the verb determine. Determine. In descriptive it was estimate, in analytical it is determine, that is you test. Test in analytical. Okay, determine. Determine whether exercise reduces the blood sugar level. Now giving you some examples that will make it extremely easy for you. First, talking about a bad research question. A bad research question is when you say determine importance of sedentary lifestyle. Determine importance of sedentary lifestyle among diabetics. Now this is a descriptive question. So this is a bad. because it is using the verb determine, but here you don't have to use the verb determine. This is used only in analytical studies. So a good research question in this case will be estimate. Estimate the prevalence of physical activity among diabetics. Okay, this was the first example. Now moving on to the second example. A bad research question is assess physical activity and diabetic complications. Now it is descriptive, right? It is descriptive. But instead of assess, we will not use the word assess. We will use estimate. Always use the verb estimate in descriptive question. Estimate the effect of physical activity on the rate of diabetic complications. Am I clear so far? Great. Last but not the least, a bad example is evaluate depression and diabetes. This is an analytical research question. So never use evaluate. We will say determine. Yes. This you have to use in formulating a research question. Determine whether depression is more common among diabetics as compared to healthy individuals. Determine whether depression is more common among diabetics as compared to healthy individuals. Then do a thorough and organized literature search, which can be remembered by the name of this film, Wake Up Sid. Wake Up Sid. Oh Sid. Oh Sid. How? Number one, O. O stands for organize. Organize the information. This is a systematic literature search. Start by collecting and organizing the existing information. Then number two, O, SID. Synthesize the results. Synthesize the results. Synthesize the results. That is, integrate and interpret findings to see how they support or challenge each other. O SID, synthesize the results. Then third step is SID, identifying the lacunae. Identify the lacunae. That is, you will identify the spot gaps or limitations in the existing research. After that, last but not the least, develop the research questions. This is a correct sequence of steps in a systematic literature search. Develop the research question. I hope you are thorough with all these steps. Bye.